Hi Aditya, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you, and congratulations on your admit ISP PGP and I'm Calcutta. So we would like to hear about your plans and why did the MBA, come into the picture? How did you go about it? And whatever tips and suggestions you have. So let me first, for the audience, let me first introduce you. And Aditya has been, so he's been working in marketing and operations, and now he's headed over to ISB for the PGP program. So, Aditya, over to you. Please give us your introduction and tell us about your plans.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Aditya, and I graduated in 2019 from engineering. Basically, completed my BTech from IIT BHU. And for last 5 years plus, I am working in marketing plus analytics, plus kind of operations space. And currently working at Sibyl, which is I would say a startup in AI space, conversational intelligence tool, based out of California, US. And I was working as operations lead there. So then I decided to apply for my MBA applications, and after searching thoroughly on internet and connecting with friends, I got to know about a couple of consultants, great consultants. Then I read their reviews on Points and Quants, and finally called Shruti ma'am, and then we had a first level discussion where she explained all the process and everything. Then we sorted out a couple of colleges where to apply. Then systematically, one by one, we did all four applications, and I received admits from uh, I'm Calcutta and ISB, and I'm going with ISB now.
Great, Aditya. So, Aditya, you applied in round one, and now I think you will also agree that it is a very hectic process. So, for the future applicants, what would you suggest? What should be a good timeline to plan for? When should they get done with their GMAT, and when should they start with their applications?
Ma'am, yes, round one is pretty hectic, and I think because there is no prior experience of that particular year intake, so even the consultants are sometimes not so sure, though they are very experienced, so they can guide you to the best extent they can. But still, there are no, I would say, data set available for that particular year's admission. So, but round one is also giving more opportunity because there is more space to accommodate any of the candidate with any of the backgrounds. But I would say first part is hiring a great consultant. They could be of great help. Like at face value, sometimes people will come and tell you, okay, consultants are not that much help. They are pretty expensive. But I don't agree at all. I think when you hire a good consultant, it's all worth it. And and you yourself will start to feel that okay, I have fair chance of getting admitted. So same I felt when I uh, came to Shruti ma'am and discussed everything in detail. That's one, hiring the great consultant. Second is you should be done with your GMAT, I would say at least 2 months prior starting the application process, so that you can evaluate your options, uh, choose your colleges where you want to apply, plan your finances, or at least have a plan of action. Okay, these are certain steps you're going to follow.
Correct. And in that whole process, what do you think are some tips that you would like to share with the future applicants as to maybe GMAT prep, any resources on that, or anything on the applications or the interview end?
They should have at least, I would say, average scores, but wherever they want to apply. And the consultants again can guide them the best. What their score in should be. That's one. Second is, they should be fairly, I would say, aware of why they are choosing MBA, because it's a, I would say, expensive program anywhere you apply in the world, be it in India. So you should be fairly aware of the idea why MBA, why at this particular stage, and where you will be heading when you will done with your MBA, maybe any of the fields, what your story after 5 years you assume. So I would say these things not only help in planning your finances, your career better, but also in your applications.
Right. And when we look at the MBA application process, or we look at the interview, it is very different when you get into an interview with IMA or you get into an interview with IMC. So how does time management, what type of time management is important over here, and also what type of let's say resource management or planning for going for different interviews?
Ma'am, like my experience at 2 3 schools, I would say understanding the process is the most crucial part, because even the IMs, I would say, are not same. Even IM Calcutta's process is altogether different from IM Ahmedabad's process. Same it with the case is with ISB. So knowing how the particular college or a particular institute, takes admits. So that's the step number one. And you can again consultant, like in my case, Shruti ma'am because she's like very experienced. She thoroughly told me that okay, this college have this particular process and something like that. So that's one. Second is practicing enough mock interviews, practicing, you know, like with feedback mechanism in place with your consultants. That's really helpful. And I would say be like communication. I think communication is the prime factor which helped me a lot. Communication is not just how good you speak. It's like how well you articulate thoughts, and understanding what college believes in, what they are looking in a candidate, and what their value pillars are. So if these are in line, I would say will have a good interview.
Great. And just one fun question in case you would like to take it up. What according to you is the full form of MBA?
Ma'am, I am looking in from a perspective of going back to school, because in my BTech I had great. This time MBA is a bit expensive vacation package, but I'm like going back to school. So again, want to feel that child in me, and to reset all the 5 years of corporate I have, and I think will also love to include more diverse perspective, because engineer I think are kind of biased towards data and numbers. To have more diverse spectrum of knowledge, learning, and inclusivity, I think that's my take why I should be going for MBA.